I'm Clive from Unsung Hero Guitars, and I'm here today with my good friend Chris Elphick, who has come along for a general chat, talk about guitars, unsurprisingly, to talk about some of the work that I've done for him in the past, and to have a play on some of the instruments that are hanging on the wall behind us. So it should be fun, should be informative. Enjoy. So we've just seen your Yamaha that I did for you a while ago, Chris. Yamaha Pacifica. Not a high-end instrument, but not the lowest of the Pacifica range by any means. But a nice guitar. Is one you enjoy, Chris?
Yeah, I love it, and I love Yamahas. But that one is very 80s. So
Very 80s.
Yeah, I love it, man.
You're far too young.
Well, not quite. But anyway, yeah, no, I love Yamaha guitars, and I just love that one. Because it's got like a silver humbucker in the bridge.
Right.
That's really my style. Like again, a very 80s looking guitar.
Sure.
They're not popular. I seem to have a thing for unpopular guitars.
You're a bit freaky.
Yeah, I think so. You did do some work on it for me. Yeah, absolutely. You did.
Yeah. So as I recall, it was just a setup. There were no major issues with it, but
It was just
to make it play nicely, I think.
Yes. So when I bought it, it wasn't staying in tune very well, and there are a few problems with the action. Like it was fretting out. Certain notes weren't ringing very true,
Sure.
and you just did it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of common on a lot of the inexpensive instruments. You know, they just lack that finesse to really make them sing in all departments. You know, so that's what we addressed.
Yep.
So, and you say that's one of your favourite guitars at the minute?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it tends to chop and change a little bit, but at the moment, playing through this rig, which I guess we'll talk about a bit later on, I really like the sound of it. It's not the most kind of clean sounding guitar. You know, I'm not going to play like a country or funk gig with it.
Sure.
But you heard in the demo, it's really good for kind of like 80s kind of rock playing. Yeah, really my thing.
Gotta love that.
Yeah, but even better, I mean, the thing you mentioned, and I think this is a recurrent theme, is that like it's not an expensive guitar, right? But to me, it feels really solid. Like, you know, it's nice and weighty, it's well put together, and it's perfect for me.
Yeah.
You know?
What else do we need to know?
Nothing.
What else do we need to know? Perfect.
Like you might argue, okay, it's not very versatile because there's no neck pickup in it. But for a guitar, you know, people always say, right, why do you need so many guitars?
Yeah.
Right?
Beautiful.
And I hear that an awful lot, okay? And that's a great example to tell people, well, it's only got one pickup in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's, you know, it's a completely different thing,
Sure.
you know, than other guitars.
Yeah.
And I like the whammy bar on it. You can't go crazy with that vibrato unit, but just a little shimmer, as in the video.
Nice.
Really nice. Stays in tune. Again, for me, it's perfect. But the work you did on it, I wouldn't be saying these things seriously had you not put it through your workshop.
Yeah.
Right. So I was happy when I bought it, but I was even happier after I got it back from you.
Yeah, perfect. And that's the whole thing. Yeah, that's what I try to do. That's what any good tech should do, really. You know, is I've heard the phrase that life's too short to play bad guitars, and that's true. You know, it doesn't matter whether it's cost you £100, £1,000, £10,000, whatever. You know, it should be playable. It should be enjoyable. You know, there's no need to sort of put up with a bad instrument.
But I think you should be able to get that from any guitar.
Yeah, in theory.
Yeah, I mean, there might be like a kit that you would buy on a auction website, which would probably be very difficult to make play well and sound well.
Yeah.
But like any guitar from like a shop, I'm a big believer that you should be able to play a gig with any of those guitars.
Yeah.
Okay. It may need to be set up to like how you like it. Can you tell me then, Clive, if I was to bring you like a new guitar, say I got a Jackson tomorrow, right? And I said, hey, can you set it up? Do you reckon you'd be able to set it up how I like guitars without me telling you how I want it? Now you've done about 7 of my guitars.
Yeah, that's... You call it telepathy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. but it simply comes down to right or wrong for me. And it just so happens that probably the setup that I would gravitate to happens to suit you. So,
right, okay.
So call it pure fortune or whatever. But it's got to be right. You know, you can't get that nice fluid low action if you've got compromised frets, or you know, or if you've got a whammy that will not hold tune.
Sure.
It's going to be troublesome. So yeah, how have I managed to get the setup just for you? It's just happens to be that we've got very, very similar tastes.
Okay.
And right is right, wrong is wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, saying that, one of the things that I remember about that guitar was when I would try and play bends like above maybe the 15th fret, they would choke out. Mm-hmm. They kind of squeal and just die.
Yeah.
And sometimes you think, well, okay, I won't bend there. Right?
That goes back to my previous point. You should never have to just put up with a guitar.
That's crazy. And I mean, I've heard stories of like, what was Eric Clapton's guitar called? Like Blackie and Brownie?
Blackie, yeah.
Apparently, like when other people have played them, like they've been very hard to play in tune. Like the intonation's a bit strange, and he was used to it.
Okay, interesting.
But I couldn't live with that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I was thinking, you know, you want it to play properly, and when I say properly, I mean you want to be able to bend every note, however high you want it, and back again, and you expect the note to sound true and come back in pitch.
Sure.
You know, in tune.
Yeah.
And that means no binding at the nut, like those awful pings that you hear when you're kind of tuning a guitar up.
Yeah.
Or when the kind of vibrato bar moves.
Yeah.
You want it to go back to neutral, so you're in tune.
Yeah.
The basics.
Yeah, exactly.
The basics done right.
They sound like simple requests, but as you say, at the inexpensive end, those details do tend to get lost.
Yeah.
For a very simple reason that they are trying to be competitive at a very, very sort of crowded sector of the market. So they don't have the time to lavish on them because then that would push them into a higher price bracket, which then makes them less competitive. And so as long as things roll off the production line within a certain tolerance, it's bang on to the next one, and stack them high, sell them cheap, sort of thing. And I'm not criticising that business model for a moment, because it is what it is, and it's great that people can get
affordable guitars.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's perfect. But as a consequence, they can be a bit hit and miss. You could have some compromise in there, and you can get a new guitar, brand new guitar from a music shop that's been set up so that it doesn't buzz too much, but you then find that you've got the action maybe
too high,
150% of what it needs to be, or they've again set it low so it's a bit more playable, and then you get the choking issue. And it's purely these that finesse, that attention to detail. That's the bit that gets lost. If you spend $4,000 on a new PRS, chances are the case that's good, but then you've spent $4,000
on Corey Smith.
And all right, we hear stories all the time of people buy a brand new Gibson or whatever it may be. I'm not picking on Gibson necessarily, but whoever it may be, and it's a disappointment when they get it, and you think for that kind of money there shouldn't be any excuse. But I guess transport and climate changes, and
but then
that sort of
I think the other way of looking at it is though, pick that example you just gave. With a minimal investment, you could get that whatever X amount of money guitar playing to your taste.
Yeah, yeah,
And to me, that's a no-brainer.
yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely.
That's a total thing that you should do, in my opinion.
So we're going to have a little look at your Charvel as well,
Sure.
which is a recent acquisition.
Let's do it.